Hot desert. When people picture a desert, this is usually what comes to mind. Vast open land, blazing sun, and sand stretching to the horizon. Hot deserts form in subtropical regions where high-pressure systems push warm air downward, suppressing rainfall almost entirely. The Sahara in North Africa is the largest hot desert in the world, covering an area roughly the size of the United States. Despite the extreme heat during the day, temperatures can drop sharply at night because dry air holds little warmth. Most of the Sahara is actually rocky, not sandy, a common misconception. The sandy, dune-covered areas are called ergs, and they make up only a small fraction of the total landscape.
Cold desert. Not all deserts are hot, and cold deserts are proof of that. They exist at higher latitudes or elevations where temperatures regularly fall below freezing, yet rainfall remains extremely low. The Gobi Desert in Central Asia is one of the most well-known examples, spanning parts of China and Mongolia. Winters there can be brutal, with temperatures dropping well below zero. What makes cold deserts distinct is not just the temperature, but the way precipitation behaves. Much of what falls comes as snow rather than rain, and it evaporates or blows away before it can sustain much plant life. The landscape tends to be gravelly and sparse.
Coastal desert. Coastal deserts form along the western edges of continents, where cold ocean currents run parallel to the shore. The cold water chills the air above it, and that air loses its ability to carry moisture inland. What arrives on land is fog rather than rain. The Atacama Desert in South America, one of the driest places on Earth, sits right on the Pacific coast of Chile and Peru. Some parts of the Atacama have gone years, even decades, without measurable rainfall. Yet fog and low clouds are common, and certain plants and insects have adapted to harvest that moisture directly from the air.
Polar desert. The driest continent on Earth is not the Sahara. It is Antarctica. Polar deserts receive almost no precipitation, and what little falls stays locked in ice rather than cycling through the environment as liquid water. The definition of a desert is simply a region that receives very little precipitation, and polar regions qualify completely. The interior of Antarctica averages less than 50 millimeters of precipitation per year. The Arctic also contains polar desert regions, particularly in northern Canada and Greenland. These areas look nothing like a traditional desert, but by scientific definition, they are among the most extreme deserts on the planet.
Rain shadow desert. Some deserts do not exist because of latitude or ocean currents. They exist because a mountain range blocks moisture from reaching them. When warm, wet air rises over a mountain, it cools and releases its rain on the windward side. By the time the air descends on the other side, it is dry and often warmer than when it started. The land in that shadow receives very little rainfall. The Great Basin Desert in the western United States formed largely this way, sheltered by the Sierra Nevada mountain range. The Patagonian Desert in Argentina sits in the rain shadow of the Andes. This type of desert can form almost anywhere mountains and prevailing winds align in the right way.
Semi-arid desert. Semi-arid deserts sit on the edge of true deserts, receiving slightly more rainfall but still far too little to support forests or dense vegetation. They tend to have longer, cooler winters and short summer rainy seasons that bring just enough moisture to allow shrubs, grasses, and drought-resistant plants to survive. The sagebrush landscapes of the American West are a good example. These areas can look almost lush compared to the Sahara, but they are still classified as deserts based on how little water their ecosystems have to work with. Semi-arid deserts are also among the most ecologically sensitive. Small changes in climate or land use can tip them toward full desertification.